So today, with the current market being shaken and many traders left uncertain, you've likely wondered how profitable full-time day traders like myself manage to not only maintain accounts but come out on the other side in profits. We're going to discuss everything from the direct technicals of capital preservation all the way to me and the VIP's general outlook on the market in times like this. Without further ado, let's get straight onto the charts and show you step one to keeping your hard-earned money in trading. So coming into every day, I first look at how I'm best going to avoid losses. And this is going to come from three places. One being key levels and imbalances. Two, being extremely picky about the trades you're taking. And three, being news or bank holidays that fall on that day. Some of you might think, oh, I already know this. But 90% of trading is drilling the same lessons into your head until it finally clicks. You've heard them before, but you might not have been serious enough to take them on board yet. So starting off with key levels, I'm mainly going to be looking at what we are or have just rejected from when I'm looking to place an entry. For example, if a setup that I was looking to enter was rejecting off of one of these key levels perfectly, then it is a strong indication that price is just going to fall back on itself and just end up completely invalidating this zone entirely. It's just a strong indication that the market doesn't want to keep going the way that it has been. And the only reason behind us looking for these is the fact that these key levels are going to be higher time frame swings, zones of supply and demand, and support and resistance levels. And since we know that time is fractal, meaning that essentially every time frame is going to work the exact same way, these higher time frame swings and zones are going to be getting just as good rejections as you would expect to see on your time frame. Let's take this trade here for example. Now in terms of our confluences, honestly this could be an A setup. What makes me say A is liquidity could be a bit stronger, although we do have multiple swings. We get good fake outs from a zone above us. But what I'm focused on is the current market structure is looking perfect. We are getting consistent high highs, with the actual setup breaking prior highs so convincingly. Now, a lot of you may rightly think when we come back to zone, we'd look for an entry and take this for a 1 to 3 or an opposing liquidity take profit. And you're not dumb in saying that. This does look really clean. Now that I've drawn out this prior high, we can see that we're getting rejections from the exact same point that we did previously. And this could mean multiple things. This could be a higher time frame zone, one of those support and resistance levels that I was talking about, or just higher time frame market structure. Maybe this is a higher time frame lower high and we just want to continue to the downside. Now I don't go into higher time frames, I don't do top down analysis, but I can get so much information from this alone. So always make sure to look back to the left and look for any key levels, because as you see, once we come back to our zone, we just shoot straight through. So this is the first great point for capital preservation. Now, moving on to imbalances, this is going to be especially important on the Monday that starts the week. When the market opens for the week, it commonly leaves behind these huge fair value gaps that we can just expect to be filled. Now, this might not happen instantly, but the entire reason for this video is going to be improving our capital maintenance, not getting it right every time. If we have all of these small ways of cutting our losses in half, then there is no losing streak that I've ever been on that will blow your funded account. Anyways, back to those imbalances and how to spot them. These imbalances are looking to be retraced since the market is going to feel either overbought or oversold in this example, since the market has moved way too quickly in one direction. There is guaranteed to be institutional orders that are yet to be filled within these gaps. Therefore, the literal market movers want price to come back to this point so they can get their execution price, leading to the market having nothing else drawing us to the upside, since in this example, we want to go downwards. If you've been on the LSD model for a while, then this sounds awfully similar to the reason behind our liquidity. It's just another thing drawing the market to the upside for normal supply and demand users, and it's the reason that their win rate is just so low. So in this example, you see that we would have got a valid entry, likely on this break of candle all the way just down here. And honestly, it's not a bad zone at all. Once again, liquidity could definitely be stronger, but me and the VIPs played our cards right. I don't think anybody entered this trade, since we all just knew that the market gives endless opportunities and we could just wait for something cleaner. And therefore the market just shot back to the upside to fill in these gaps, and we were left with 1% more than if we would have got greedy. Anyways, let's move on to the second point, which is going to be trade quality. And although it is kind of a broad topic, I'm going to run through examples to show you how much it really does matter. So pay attention. So our trade playbook is going to come in all different shapes and sizes. Some can be newer and smaller, whereas some can be older and much bigger in structure. However, every single one of these higher quality trades are going to be using the same confluences and avoiding the same red flags in the market. And I have this trade just on my screen right now. So let's quickly run through why it is so clean and compare it to a worse example. So starting off with market structure, this is so clean. We're not sitting on any huge gaps. And I mean, gold is a very bullish instrument, so that wouldn't matter anyway. We're using the lowest valid zone within this entire structure. Liquidity was formed over multiple valid swings, which is just going to make it so strong. We get clear breaks of structure to the upside after each swing. I mean, this second one could be cleaner, but it looks very intentional, so I was completely all right with it. Movement towards our zone was straight, leaving behind gaps for retracement, as well as giving great fake outs from a potential demand above us, which adds to our liquidity. I don't have it up, but the point of control was in favor, as well as the main structure being above the 200 EMA. Essentially, everything was in favor for this trade. And if you didn't understand some of that, then I have loads of resources over in the Discord that literally break this down step by step, as well as simplified strategy videos, a full mini course if you're just getting started out. And I mean, the chance to ask me anything if something quite doesn't make sense. I'm active in the markets every single day, sending every trade I look at. And you'll also get the chance to talk to and trade with other experienced traders. I mean, literally earlier today, some of the VIPs caught a 1 to 3 that I didn't even take. And that is the main reason I made this place, for you guys to grow together. Anyways, let's break down a bit of a worse trade so you can see what I mean when I say every confluence matters. Now, market structure is looking all right here. We're clearly in a downtrend, but already the zone is a middle zone, meaning that there's zones above and below us, which both would be completely valid to trade off. So already this takes off a couple points. Next, the swing that formed liquidity really wasn't that strong for the overall size of the setup. So that's definitely going to be another couple points knocked off. However, afterwards, break of structures were fine. And we still did get fake outs from one of those potential zones below us, which does add to our liquidity. However, if you didn't realize, this is the exact zone that I just talked about, where we have those imbalances above us, meaning that these 3 small confluences that I've been talking about all add up to mean that we can avoid these losses completely and very consistently. Now, for the third and final point of the technical side of the video, and I mean, you could call this a fundamental point if you wanted, since it's going to be news and bank holidays that interfere with our set trading times. Starting out, if we're in our session and there is high impact red folder news that is scheduled for some point in that set time, then it's going to be so important that we trade around it. Not only would it be so dumb to trade during these times just for the high impact that news can bring just out of seemingly nowhere, essentially making trading these drops gambling, but the qualified phase of these prop firm accounts would never pay you out even if it did go your way. So trading like a dumbass is literally going to get you nowhere in this game. Staying out of trade 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after these drops is going to be so important for the longevity of your trading plan, since even if you think it's going to work for now, what happens when your luck runs out? Don't play with luck, play with probabilities, because that is all trading is. If we head on over here to forexfactory.com and go over to calendar, we can see every single red and white folder news that is scheduled for that week. These red folder news events, aka PPI, unemployment claims, definitely Trump speaking, are going to be the events that you want to avoid, since the red folder is going to indicate that it's going to move the market significantly. Bank holidays will also show up as white folder, and the main one to look out for is going to be USD bank holidays. The institutions that we want to ride the back of are not going to be trading on these bank holidays. This is directly going to lead to lower volume and much lower rejections from our zones. The market can't move consistently without institutions and banks actively trading. So bookmark this website and always check at the start your trading day. Now for some psychology lessons, and it's not going to be your normal mentality snippets because we know they don't work in the long term. Let's go over a couple of things that will genuinely help in the long term if you write them down and look over them again and again. First being, how do you think your mindset reflects in your trading? You likely think you're past this point by now, but I know for a fact that you'd cut this journey so much shorter if you had the option. The truth is that money doesn't come without this journey. Skipping this will only deprive you of valuable lessons, the kind of ones that are literally going to train your intuition to take the good trades and miss the bad trades. So instead of trying to make this journey as short as possible, try and be as present as you can. Take notes on every little thing that has both positive and negative effects, because this is the feedback that you only get from actively trading. I do have both a free and a VIP Discord where I'm mainly active, specifically for this reason. Well, and a bunch of other reasons, but I'll get into that. The Discord is definitely going to have more experienced traders than you, so it's literally going to be your perfect chance to ask them anything. Cover all of your mistakes, learn the harsh lessons before you make the bad decisions. Some mistakes you will definitely have to go through just for them to sink in, but being aware that they're there is infinitely better than just being delusional. Quick mention about that VIP room. If you're ready to take your trading seriously and learn learn all of the small rules that make a consistently profitable trader live with me, then there's a link to that just down below. This is on top of years of my backtested data with access to all of my live charts, extra resources so we're just all on the same page in there, and webinars so you get a breakdown of the entire week and the chance to ask me anything. You do have that separate channel to ask me anything anyway, but I like to go a bit more in depth in these webinars. So if you're finally ready to iron out your trading flaws, then I'm sure I'll see you in there. Coming back of the last point, and it does also really relate to the waiting for quality trades point that I said earlier. With trading, you're going to see everything is related eventually, so listen up. How can you expect to wait for quality trades, you know, the ones that actually pay you, if you are so impatient? These literally directly impact each other, and the only way to get to your goal, and is what you see as short as time as possible, is to take so much more time than you think. A no trade week isn't a sign that you're doing no work. It's a sign that you know what to wait for, and you know that the market isn't going to give that every single day, because it won't. And the ones that think the markets owe them something are the ones that are going to pay for that later down the line. I wish you all good luck in the charts, and I hope to see you over in that Discord. Like if this helped you, and subscribe so I can see you next time I drop some sauce. Peace.